Paradise Killer.
Paradise Killer is what you get when you mix Danganronpa and Vaporwave and they have a cute little free roam murder baby together. And you play as the lovely detective Lady Love Dies. She's been in exile for 3 million years now, and to kick off this game, we get a notification on our trusty handy dandy computer. But first, we have to actually run into a shitty demon named Shinji, and he won't let us leave until we fucking talk to him, so let's talk to him. So after we get that shitty piece of shit out of the way, we finally get outside to a beautiful sight of a pool and tons of cool statues and shit. We walk over to our computer and we finally get the notification from a character named Judge telling us that we are needed. And Judge tells us that the council has been murdered. And while Lady Love Dies thinks that she's joking, but Judge actually is literally telling the truth. The council is dead for good. You're probably wondering, who is the council? Well, it's kind of just a couple of nobodies that create new island sequences. Yes, you're probably wondering, new islands? Well, yeah, these guys are trying to make the perfect 25. But on the night of making this perfect 25, they were murdered. Who murdered them? Who knows? So after Judge gives us the lowdown, and Judge also tells us that our ride is waiting for us, and all we have to do is jump from our exile. And with that, we take a big leap out of our 3 million year prison, and the credits play.
Paradise Killer.
And once we reach the bottom, we meet our second character, Lydia Daybreak, aka the Fairy Woman. She used to be an assassin, but now she just drives people to island. And so once you talk to her, she gives you the lowdown of everything again, and she drives you straight to the council. And so we finally meet Judge face to face, and she tasks us with finding out who killed the council. And so after that, we're finally able to explore this super badass, cool looking Vaporwave Island. And I gotta admit, the developers put in a lot of time and effort into this game. I mean, just from the ambience and the sound effects and even the sand and the ocean and just the waves coming in, it's very, very good and aesthetically pleasing game. And there is also a lot of detail around this map. You can tell they took a lot of inspiration from different places like Japan and probably a lot of resorts as well. And with this newfound freedom, we can explore this island whatever we want, at any speed we want. We're given a list of people to talk to, but really you don't really need to talk to these people. I mean, you could, but really you could actually end the game right now and talk to Judge and tell her what you think and who you thought did the murder. But truthfully, you'll never really get it right. So let me go over all the suspects. We have Carmeliana Silence, I think that's her name. We have Crimson Acid. I wanna see them titties, man! I wanna see them titties! And then we also have Dr. Doomjazz, which is literally just a fucking simp for everyone. He's in love with Grand Marshal Akihiko 14, and she is so fucking annoying. She only says the same voice line like 100 fucking times. We have, of course, Lydia Daybreak, and we have her husband, Sam Daybreak. He also used to be an assassin, but now he just works at a bar. We have Witness to the End and Yuri Knight, and then last but not least, the main suspect that everyone thinks killed the council, is Harry Division. They say that he did it because, you know, he's possessed by a demon and he killed his mother, but I don't fucking believe that for one fucking minute, man. They're trying to fucking, that's a red herring and they're lying. Free my boy Henry. And while I haven't exactly finished this game, I can tell that they did put a lot of effort into the story, into the characters and everything. And so, since I haven't really played too much of this game, I don't really know what to really talk about actually anymore. The voice acting is top notch. It's very good. Like, one of my favorite characters, Crimson Acid. Yes, Crimson Acid is my favorite character. It's not because of the big fat nothings on and stuff, but like a character like her, she's quite interesting. She traded her head to get more god powers, more godlike powers. She's also very helpful for the story. You can trade your blood crystals, which are the currency for the game, and you can trade them to her, and she will give you special secrets about every character and more evidence. But I just want to see them big, fat shit. Emily is Away is a massive nostalgia trip. I'd call it a friend zone simulator, a dating simulator, and a fucking cold hard bitch simulator, because my god, Emily is a asshole in this first game. All 3 games take place around the early to mid 2000s, with each chapter going through a year. The series was created by Kyle Seeley, and the first game was released in November 2015, where you play as yourself, I guess you could say yourself or anyone, trying to date this character Emily on AIM. Anyone remember AIM? I barely remember that shit, man. And so just to get to the nitty gritty, Emily is an absolute stone cold bitch in the first game. She loves to play hard to get. She moves off to college, and you try to still become friends and still stay friends and far away from each other. And well, you hang out, you go to a party, she comes to your college to hang out for a little bit, but you have another girlfriend. She's not your girlfriend, she's just a friend girl. And so you're like, well shit, come hang down and come hang over here and we'll drink some beers and shit and stuff. And so, you do that, and then all of a sudden you get to the end of the fucking story, and it turns out she fucking ghosts you and she fucks you over, and she just friend zones the fuck out of you, and she's dating someone else, and she's like, well, why didn't you decide to say anything on that day? Well, it's because I thought we were trying to fucking figure shit out. And it's like, well, fuck, and now she fucked me. She fucks us over. But in the second ending, if I fucking play hard to get to her and then fucking be a dick and everything, exact same way, and treat her the exact same way she treats me, fucking, then she gets all sad and depressed, fucking goddamn son of a bitch. So in the end, Emily is Away 1 should really be named Emily is a fucking stone cold hearted bitch. But Emily is Away 2, on the other hand, is a way better game, because this time Emily is not a stone cold hearted bitch, and she doesn't fucking play hard to get. But the thing is, Emily is not the only love interest in this game. There's another character, a way fucking better character, and her name is Evelyn. She's like the punk rock goth in high school. Loves 9 Inch Nails, Slipknot, and the entire works, all of it. She is way more cooler than Emily. All Emily likes to do is read Harry Potter. And also, you can date Emily, I've heard. I actually never did date Emily in the second game because fuck her, and I will never bow down to that son of a bitch. Evelyn all the way, man. Only Evelyn. Only Evelyn. But time to get down to the real nitty and gritty and gritty manitty is probably the best game in the series, Emily is Away 3. And that's right, you see the title, it's 2008 and AIM is dead. Meaning, where do you go next? Right onto Facebook. This time it's a lot bigger and way more things to do this time around, with a lot more characters and a lot more emotion this time too. So let me get all the characters out of the way for this one. We got the homie, the OG, Matt. This man is with you thick and thin, man. He's the true homie. He's your generic hipster friend, but Buddy is absolute homie. He also has a girlfriend though, Kelly. There's not really too much information on her, but she's also not dateable. They didn't actually add in any love interests in the third game, and they only kept it to Emily and Evelyn. This game I like a lot better. It's a lot bigger. You can actually customize your statuses. You can go to parties with a lot of people. You can actually, this time, there's a lot more character with everyone. You can actually see them this time and see what they look like. You can't actually see their faces, but you can still see like their profile pictures, and they got pictures and they got the colors. Like Evelyn's is always purple, you'll always know that's Evelyn. Yeah, Matthew's orange, Emily's green, and Kelly is yellow. And then your character is usually always blue. You can see these characters and you can see their pictures. It's so cool because they gave them way more character. And the pixelized art style is absolutely great, and that was also done by Kyle as well. One thing I love about this game is they have their own functional YouTube. It's spelled a little bit differently, but these characters will send you their music, their favorite music, their own playlists, funny little memes that they found on the internet. It really makes these characters feel alive, and actually makes you feel like you're in the year of 2008 or whatever the fuck year they're in. So yeah, I truly do love Emily is Away, and all of the games actually, but Emily is Away 2 is probably my most favorite out of all of them. So go get it now, go get it now, now. Get it now, it's on sale right now. Christmas sale, Steam Christmas sale. It's only $2. It's only $2. Get it on sale right now. Right now, get it on sale. Ew, you play a furry game? Yeah, I played it, man. I was excited to play it because it reminded me of Life is Strange. And was it like Life is Strange? Not exactly. But was it good? It kind of was good. I don't give a shit what you say about it. It was somewhat of a good game. It was kind of lackluster on the ending. It was kind of weird. It was kind of weird the entire game, truthfully. But anyways, yeah, I played it. It was good. It was kind of good. There's some characters I liked, some characters I didn't like. I obviously liked the rhythm part of the game. The rhythm game sections, those were really good. The music was good too. The music was pretty good. And, yeah, man, it was, just about dinosaurs and trying not to die, and, well, they all die in the end. Sorry, spoilers, but, that's what the fuck happened to dinosaurs. If you didn't know what the fuck happened to dinosaurs, then, well, shit, So, yeah, but another reason why I'm talking about this game is because it actually has, a little bit of cut content that I'd actually like to talk about here. And, yeah, man, it has some cut content. And so let's get into the cut content. Like the tarot cards, there was a placeholder for the tarot cards for Sage's tarot card. It was a placeholder. They just used just a model and just had them standing there. There's also some chibi L&L characters that they got going on, and I guess these didn't go used, and some graphics that went unused and things like that. There's an unused graphic for a van being crashed, I guess, which actually never happens in the story, and an unused icon, actually a couple unused icons, but the big one is that originally Rosa and Leo, actually a cut character, were supposed to be playable with their own routes before being scrapped, actually. So yeah, Rosa was supposed to be playable, and a cut character named Leo was actually supposed to be playable as well. And well, here's Leo here. There's actual art and tons of shit on this character. He's supposed to be like a emo type of dude. Anyways, you played him. He was cool. He was cut from the game. I guess they just didn't want to use him anymore. But there's tons of graphics and art done with this character already, and sprites and stuff. Yeah, man, would have been cool. But really, let's get on to the game. The real game, and how I thought about it. I'd say it's a 50-50 split. This is probably the only game in this video that I'm actually gonna talk not as good about as the rest are. Because this game is like 50-50 to me, man. It was good, and then it wasn't good, and then it was good, and then it wasn't good. Like, the fucking ending was super weird. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't like the ending. Like, yeah, I get it. You gotta be all sad and, explosion. But on top of that, no one gave a fuck about the fucking meteors crashing down on them until, like, last 5 minutes. The last, like, I don't know, 5 minutes. I'd say, like, the last 30 minutes of the game, everyone was like, oh, the meteor's coming! The meteor's coming, help! You guys had an entire week to prepare, and now you're fucking freaking out that a meteor's gonna come crashing down? Could have done that earlier. So anyways, that was weird to me. The rhythm game part was pretty good. Most of the characters I didn't like. Yeah, didn't like most of those characters, man. And then Naomi being the love interest kind of felt forced to me. It was weird. Trish sucked ass. Reed was cool, Sage sucked ass, but Fang is probably the best character. She's the fucking playable character. The rest of them, I didn't really like the rest of them. I'm just saying. So, but the stuff I did like, I did like the rhythm games. The music was amazing. The voice acting was really good too. But some of the story beats they tried to hit was just not good. Not that good. I also have never, also just to mention, I have also never played the Snoot game, which is is it a sequel or a prequel or something? Well, before this movie, or before this game, before this game. This Snoot game came out before this game, so I've never played it yet, and I don't really know what the fuck it's about. And so this is gonna be a shorter segment on this video, but truthfully, all of a sudden Naomi's all mad at us and stuff. Like I didn't really give a fuck. I've kind of forgotten about this game. It's whatever, man. Like, it was a good game, and then it wasn't a good game, and then I don't really know too much on the history. I guess there was like a problem or something, or some controversy with this game, but I don't give a shit about that. So in the end, I'll give it like a 50-50 on this game. Would I go out and get it immediately? No. Would I get it on sale? Maybe. Do I regret my purchase? No. It was good, but like, man, I'm not gonna bash the game that bad. So do I recommend this game? To an extent. Yes, to an extent, I recommend this game. but for now, I'd give it a 50-50, and that's all I can really say on it, man. So, yeah. Last Year the Nightmare. It's a 2018 asymmetrical horror game. It was supposed to be a really big competitor to Friday the 13th, the game, and it was for a long time. It was super unique. It had YouTubers playing it. It had everything, everything you could ever want for a game like this. And it had a perfect time setting, it had everything. And it was in between when Friday the 13th was dying out because of the lawsuit, and right when Dead by Daylight was trying to take off because, their competition fucking died at that point. So Last Year came out at pretty well the perfect timing to where it was like people are looking for a new game, and a lot of people were jumping onto Dead by Daylight at that time, but a lot of people were also still looking for a different game than Dead by Daylight. People already played that and they were like, well, it's not as good as Friday the 13th. So they were looking for something different, and Last Year came out at that perfect time. And then all the Friday the 13th YouTubers I used to watch, they started playing this game and was saying, yeah, look at this game. It's a brand new game. You play as 5 survivors and 1 killer. It takes place in 1996. Like, take a look at it. And it looked great. It looked really good. It looked really fun. That's one thing that got me in, was the brutal kills and the cool little unique kills that you could do on the maps. But the first mistake they made with this game was releasing it onto the Discord store. You guys remember the Discord game store? Where you could actually buy games and play the games on Discord? That was so long ago. That was so long ago. Anyways, it released onto there exclusively for Discord, not onto Steam. And it still did well for itself, but a year later in 2019, they released it onto Steam. This game had a lot going for it. Like, back in late 2014, the developers, Elastic Games, decided to open up a Kickstarter for the game. The initial goal was to get around $50,000. They ended up getting around $114,000. That's pretty good. With that Kickstarter, they promised DLC, like a mall map, a summer camp, and also one that I thought was super cool when I first heard about this game and heard about the DLCs coming, the suburbs. They were going to make a suburbs map, which was just, full of a major, just a neighborhood with houses and things like that. And that was actually a pretty cool idea, and they were supposed to be free, but well, later on in this section, you'll find out what happened to those. Once they moved from Discord to Steam, they relaunched the game in 2019 with the After Dark update, which released the first ever DLC killer and survivor for the game, Raj and the Spider. This also added in tons of new cosmetics and customization for your characters. This was also the point in time in the game where it was practically at its peak. It had tons of content creators playing it, YouTubers, people were talking about it, a lot of people were talking about it in the horror community, the Friday the 13th community, a lot of people were talking about it. You had people like the Vanoss crew, H2O Delirious, Cartoons, you had them all playing this game at the same time. The game was doing really well for itself, and it went steady for another year, but in late 2021, Elastic Games went bankrupt and immediately shut down the servers for the game, meaning people that owned the game couldn't even launch it to play like private matches or anything. But in 2022, the game was saved with a group of talented modders, and they made Last Year Resurrected, and development on that began on August 11th, 2022. And what they aimed to do was bypass the server checks and also fix up the code so it could be fully peer-to-peer without any reliance on game servers. And the mod officially released in a public beta on March 24th, 2023. And in 2023, on the 1st of April, the Twitter account for Last Year became active again with a tweet related to the game that it will be coming back. And they were not lying, the game finally did come back. And it was actually available on Steam for free, and it still is available on Steam for free. And a new company bought the rights to the game, named Undaunted Games, and they've been working hard trying to fix this game up now. And so with all that history out of the way, what's the game actually like? And well, the game itself is really fun, truthfully. It's got its balancing issues here and there, but truthfully, deep down, this game is pretty fun. But first, let's talk about the characters and the killers. You have Chad Taylor, which is obviously the muscle, and he is the quarterback and, the football star, the big jock, and he brings the muscle to the group. You have Nick, the nerd, but he's very tech savvy. He doesn't care if he's called a nerd. He's fine with that, but he's the techie of the group. You also have Samantha, my second favorite character. character. She's a outcast, like a outcast nerdy character. And well, her role, I don't really know what her role is. She's everything. She cares about everyone. She tries to be nice to everyone, but everyone treats her everyone just treats her like shit. And here's my favorite character, Amber. She's your typical snotty nose, popular preppy girl, and she's the mean girl of the group too. And last but not least, to finish off the 5 original survivors, we have Troy. He's I guess the typical cool kid and the strategist of the group. And now onto the Fiends. The game originally started out with 3 characters. And let's start off with the Slasher. He's pretty cool because, well, he looks like a janitor that just grabbed an axe and turned killer mode. And I'm pretty sure that's what he is, but yeah, he does pretty heavy damage and swings his axe around. But he also has one super cool ability. He can hide in the skylights and wait for classmates to walk by. And once they walk by, he's able to activate this and he can jump through the glass, bam, right onto their head. But there's nothing really too much to talk about him here. So let's get on to the next one with the Giant. He's probably one of my more favorite characters because there's so much you can do with him. He looks like an escaped convict that can smash through walls like the Kool-Aid Man or charge at you and pick you up like Andre the Giant. He likes to smash people a lot. My favorite thing to do with him is to grab people off of ledges and stuff and throw them off and they instantly die. He's a very fun character but very cheesy and cheap to play. And the last original character in the game, the Strangler. He looks like a hobo, but he has like a scorpion hook that he's able to hook classmates with and bring them over to him. I remember in the original game on Discord, he was actually able to hook you and bring you in, and then he would actually non-stop stab you to death until you died. But once the game released on Steam, they changed it so that he'd grab you, but then he'd throw you back, but you would still be close enough to him where he could just hit you, and you wouldn't be stun locked into just getting stabbed over and over again. And he's pretty cool, and he probably has one of the best kills in the game where he can hide in vents and grab you. But let's get on to the DLC, the only DLC characters in the game, with the Spider. And the Spider is obviously your typical giant spider, but with the Spider, he came with the After Dark update, which added in little tiny spider mobs that would come out of the ground, and they were little tiny versions of him that would attack the survivors. And the thing with him is he was super overpowered as well. He had a venom attack that would go on the floor, and it would actually start burning you if you walked over it. And on top of that, he also has one of the cooler kills too in the game where he can come out of the ground and grab you. Let's get on to the DLC survivor, Raj. He's your natural leader and team player character of the group. He loves basketball and likes talking shit to the killers. And so you're probably wondering, that was the only DLC? Didn't you say there was other DLC maps coming out? I did say that, didn't I? Well, in the end, since the game went bankrupt, they ended up not releasing any of the free maps that they promised. So we ended up not getting a summer camp map, a mall, or the suburbs, which is somewhat of a shame because I would have loved to see these types of maps in the game because the game truly does look pretty good with its art style. But there was also one more canceled DLC for this game that actually has a trailer for it. It was going to be a brand new killer and a rumored survivor. This killer actually ended up having a trailer for him. It was going to be the second chapter of the game. It was actually going to be called Last Year Chapter 2 Resurrection 1666, and he was supposed to be the first version of a gothic horror character in the game.
Fornerati dormientis in sepulchres. Liberati tutime ex infernus!
And his power was he was going to actually be able to throw fireballs from his hands, like shown in the trailer. And supposedly from interviews and things that he was actually supposed to be pretty important to the story. Like it was going to give some more information on why the nightmare keeps happening and what is it. There was also rumors that it was actually going to come with another survivor, a goth Asian girl, I guess. Supposedly that's what people have said. There's been no photos or videos of this character, so we'll just have to go on what people are saying. This trailer was released when the Vanoss crew was playing the game, back when it was in its prime. So it really sucks seeing that this DLC didn't come out. But before they actually shut down the servers and everything, they released one final map. the sawmill, with a couple new cosmetics and weapons and things like that. But that was back when no one was really playing the game at the time. It was actually probably at its lowest player count it's ever had. And so with all that out of the way, let's get on to the gameplay. It took a lot of ideas from Friday the 13th, like having weapons so you can fight the killer, but this time you can actually kill the killer. The killer can pick 3 of the killers in the game. And the thing is, there really only is 3 killers in the game. Well, until the update came out, then the spider was in the game. But originally there was only 3. There was 4 different classes: Assault, Engineer, Medic, and Scout. Assault is obviously the damage class. They spawn in with a lead pipe already in their inventory. They're also able to craft a helmet to give them 25 armor. Not just that, they're also able to craft a bat, which is probably the strongest weapon in the game. Now on to the Medic. The Medic is of course, well, a healer class. They walk around with a bag full of bandages, and they can actually lock on to you and start healing you. Outside of that, they're a pretty weak class because they don't really got any weapons on them, but by right-clicking you can just punch with your fist, but it's not that strong. The Scout class is next, and it's probably one of the more important classes in the game, because they spawn in with a gun that's able to detect traps. And what I mean by see traps, like, if a killer is hiding in one of the kill zones, you can actually see if a killer's hiding in it or not. You can warn your team to not go there, or see if a vent is booby-trapped. They're pretty good because the gun they have not just sees traps, but also can flash the killer. But as of late, killers have gotten pretty good at dodging the flash. And last but not least, the Engineer. Probably one of my more favorite classes. You carry around a massive red toolbox that once you left-click, you're actually able to place down a turret, a nail gun turret, that slowly shoots at the killer. It doesn't do too much damage, and it is quite weak, but if you don't deal with it, it will do a lot of damage and it will really hurt you. So it's practically kind of like a time waster for the killer. On to how the game plays. When the game originally released, it released with 3 different unique maps that had different objectives in each one. Like in the school, or really it was called gym, I guess, but still. You would start off in some shop class. You'd walk downstairs into this gym storage room where you jump down into the bathrooms and you start in the boys' locker room in the basement of the school. From here, you have to find fuel and get the generator running so you can go upstairs. This is probably the hardest part of the entire map, is because it's kind of a small area and the killer can find you quite easily here. There's also a lot of choke points for the killer. But once you get the fuel and put it into the generator, you go upstairs. You go upstairs and it leads into a long hallway with other classrooms and stuff like that. At this point, you have to find more fuel to get the generator running so you can open up the gates to the gym. After you find the 2 gas cans, the gym gates open, and for the final objective, you need to turn on the lift and move it towards the end of the gym. This is probably the easiest part for the survivors, because if you just work together and fight the killer, there's nothing the killer can do. So once the lift is at its spot, you go up into the scaffolding of the gym, and you start walking above the gym, and the last thing you need to do is pull the lever to unlock the exit gates. This is probably the funnest part of the entire map, because if you're playing as the giant, you can actually pick people up and throw them across the gym, killing them instantly. Probably the best part of this map. On to the next map, the clock tower. This map I really do not fucking like. I hate this map. You start off in the principal's office, and your objective this time is to get to the top of the clock tower. So first you have to go to the cafeteria to get the cog to open up the sewer doors. After that will lead you straight up into where the clock tower is. But you're not done yet. Anyways, you have to get multiple cogs, I guess, or whatever they're called, and you have to keep going up each story of the clock tower, and when you get to the top, you have to turn the lever to open up the exit gate again, and then you gotta book it to the exit gate. It's a pretty simple one as well, but on top of that, another really good map for the giant. If you're really losing and really, like, getting your ass kicked, just go the giant at the end, like, you know, when they're at the very end at the top of the clock tower and they're trying to pull the lever, just go giant, and you'll be able to fucking throw those guys right off the fucking map. The next map is the library. I don't actually know what the map is called, but I just like to call it the library. This one you start in like a somewhat of a computer lab, and you have to get multiple floppy disks to open up the principal's secret library. And so once you find the first floppy disk, you have to decode it in the computer lab. You gotta find another one. I think it's around 3 different floppy disks, and then you can decode it. Then you have to go to multiple computers around the school and type in the code and get it unlocked. After that, the principal's library finally opens. But you're not done yet. You obviously have to pull the lever to get the exit doors open. And once the exit doors are open, you book it across some wood and you get on in there. You get on into the escape route, the escape room. This is probably my favorite map of the entire game. I just like the entire design of it and the whole aesthetic that they were trying to go for with this map. But we're not done on maps. After the After Dark update, A month before they actually went bankrupt, they released one final map for the game, the Sawmill. I actually never played this map when it came out. I actually just played it recently when I was trying to record footage for this game. And it's not a bad map, to tell you the truth. It's actually one of the better maps. I think I like it because it's not in the school. It's a completely different location entirely. And it's a lot of fun for the killers, for sure. Like I said, again, it's a lot of fun for the giant because he can just pick you up and throw you directly into the saws and you're an insta-kill dead. But the objective is a little different. This time, you start off in a major yard and you actually have to get a welding kit and weld open the door. Or is it a welding kit or is it... Anyways, you gotta fucking blast open a lock. And so once you do that, you'll be able to actually go inside this mine area where mine carts are driving around and they'll hit you, which is pretty fucked up. So once you get through there, you go into this outdoor area and it's pretty fucked up place too. And it's just like the other game. You gotta find fuel, you gotta fucking get a mine cart to open up this place. It's exact same thing. Kind of realizing after talking about it, it kind of sounds like a lot of this is pretty repetitive shit, but yeah. But with this update, they released 2 separate versions of the map. Another one that actually takes place only in the mine. It's only in a mine and it never ever goes outside like the other map does. And this one I'd say is a lot better, but a lot of people would say differently. But I'd say that map is probably a lot better than the outdoor Sawmill map. But once you do all the repetitive shit and do it all, you open up the gate and you escape. The end. That's how the map works. Except there's a couple little different things that you can do, but still the same old pull levers, put in the fuel, and that's how it really goes. And the maps are okay. They're pretty fun, but I think they should probably change them around if they ever decide to continue this game. But since I've talked about all this, and all in all, I gotta admit, last year the Nightmare will always have a special spot in my heart, because I practically grew up with that whole entire era of Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight and this game too, and I also cannot wait to see what the new developers have in store for us, because as I'm talking right now at this moment, they are working on new content and trying to fix up the game. This is future me, and I'm here to just hop on and say that in the making of this, the last year guys actually uploaded a couple new killer concepts and some of the things that they've been working on for the game. Like they're trying to fix up the medic class, and they're actually going to give the medic class, instead of a bag full of like medical supplies and shit, they're just gonna give it the class a blow dart gun, like a blow dart gun, so you can just shoot it at people like Ana from Overwatch. And then not just that, they're trying to make the graphics better for the game, as you can tell in these screenshots. Last but not least, they showed a new asset from one of the new maps they're making in the game, which is the Forest Hill Cemetery. It's gonna be a cemetery map. That's all they're making. That's what they're making right now. But then for their 5-year anniversary thing, they uploaded tons of new concept art, and new things showing off a couple new characters and different little things that we can expect in the coming months. So here's the first one. Here's the cemetery map. More of the cemetery. Still more cemetery. And then finally we have, it looks like a brand new survivor. This could be the goth character everyone was talking about, but maybe they finally are making a goth character. But yeah, this is the new survivor they're trying to make. Different outfits, I guess. And then they got like a D&D looking ass character killer, which would be cool. It would be like the first female in the game too, so that would also be cool. First female killer in the game. And then the warlock, he looks good. Can't wait to see what they got cooking, man. They got some good cooking. They cooking. That's all I can say, I guess. And then they got one last thing, new cryptid with 3 new variants that will spawn the ghouls. And so these guys will spawn probably throughout the entire cemetery, which will be cool as hell. So yeah, they're cooking up the storm. For sure. So I'll leave it to past Daryl, and yeah. And I will be keeping my eyes peeled to see what they do in the near future.